Okay, this is Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, and it is Thursday morning, and we had tremendous rainfall last night. And so what I want to do is bring you over here. This is something that I do on a pretty regular basis when we have rain like that, is I'll come over and I'll look at my rain gauge. That's a rain gauge. Graduated in inches, and this is indicating that we got 1.5 inches of rain last night. 1.5 inches. And when I look around here, and I'm going to empty that and put it back in its thing here. It just sits out here. It's, you know, unobstructed by any trees or anything like that. And you're going to find that a lot of farmers have rain gauges because they want to be in tune with what kind of moisture they got coming down. And for me, when we've had a good rain, I come out and I feel like I was given a gift with all that rain, because that's part of my little ecosystem here. And you know, every time that we get something like that, it's a battle against drought. And when the conditions get droughty, that's probably worse than too much rain. You know, there's a lot of things I can't do when it's real wet. See, the kids couldn't sleep out last night because we had to let the tent down because it was blowing so hard, and I didn't want them out anyway. It was thunder and lightning really bad. But this is one of those things that I come, and when I check it, I get kind of a buzz out of it. I feel pretty good about that. It's like a little victory that was given to me. I don't have to, it's something I don't have to do, you know. It was a gift. It was given to me, so it's kind of neat. So, hey, I'd recommend getting one of those. I'd like to have a couple of them around here. A lot of times, see, these are really fun to play with, you know. So if you're a kid, you might come out here and take this out and look at it and then walk around with it. Maybe leave it someplace. That happens. I've had probably 5 of them since we lived here. But sometimes you'll just have a bucket sitting out, and you'll see how much water's in the bottom of it. You know, we're not paying for it, and it's got a lot of nutrient in it that we can really use in our grass. All right, see, so you can see my grass is really coming on here. And I think there's something to consider here. If you were planting nothing but, you know, a single type of crop, and let's say we're going to plant into something like this, and it's wet, and you can't get on it with heavy equipment because it's wet, then rain goes in your you know, your detriment column. It's what's the word I'm looking for? It's a liability. Sometimes rain can be a liability. So if you're able to set your place up so no matter what happens, you're going to make a gain out of it, that's a good thing. That's what you want to think about. So how can you make a gain out of rain? And sometimes, you know, we're going to get too much rain, what we would think is too much rain. So how can you do that? It's a thought process to consider. And, you know, I've thought about it a lot, obviously. One of the things that helps, that you can't go wrong with, is right here. It's grass, right? It's grass. Now in that video I was kind of kidding around about the lawnmower, but I'm going to get back to that because mowing lawn does take up a lot of resources. So how can you justify that? You know, we want to talk about form over function, so we want a place that's nice to live at. You know, I don't want it overgrown. I don't want it to look like, you know, nobody lives here when you look at the front lawn. That's how we did that for a summer. Didn't look too good. That was the year I got sandals. Yeah, I don't wear them much anymore. So how can you utilize this? All right, now I'll give you a hint. If these guys could get out of here right now, they would utilize that in a heartbeat. Only thing is, they would make the grass look like that, and that wouldn't be too good. So how can we do this? I think the answer is pretty obvious. if we can harvest this grass, instead of mowing the lawn, you're harvesting. You're harvesting. You see what they're doing now with kind of punky looking hay? They're eating it because it's greener than anything in there. And they're going to it. They're going to turn that all into two things, pork and manure. The manure is good out here, the pork is good in the freezer. So you can't lose. Now, if I was to mow the lawn and take all those clippings and dump it in here, they would have a field day, immediately have a field day. And I'm to the point now where I can't even keep up with the lawn, right? So that's really something to think about, you know, for the homesteader. If you have a couple of animals like this that will utilize that, then it's not a liability to keep your grass mowed. It's an asset in feeding your animals, and the byproduct is, oh, my lawn looks nice. You know, that's the byproduct of it. And I'm talking pigs now, but my cows will eat it too, and they'll love it. The chickens go crazy for it. So keeping 50 chickens is like having something that will utilize your grass. Depends on how much you're mowing. I'm mowing a little bit more here than I should because, like I said, I got a really nice mower and I like mowing lawns. But let's say that you're setting up a little farm in a city lot. You know, how much grass are you going to have? And you know, let's say that you're not going to have any chickens or pigs in a city lot. What can you do with that grass? Well, the answer would be you want to feed it to something. So a compost pile is you're feeding it to billions of bacteria, and they'll love it too. But there's a lot to think about there, you know. If you're feeding your bacteria, are you going to want to feed them anything that would be detrimental to their health? The answer to that would be no. So, you know, do you want to have the guy come in and spray the stuff down that'll make your grass look green? Probably not. I mean, definitely not. If you don't want to feed it, if you wouldn't eat it, don't feed it to your animals, because eventually you're going to be eating your animals. And your bacteria actually are your little animals that are out there, because if you're in some place where you can't have animals, you can surely grow tomatoes and you can surely grow corn, and I mean the list goes on and on and on. So instead of growing flowers that look nice, you could grow tomatoes that look nice, and you get to eat them, and it's fun. It's just fun. Or raspberries, or strawberries, or nut trees, or fruit trees. The list goes on and on and on. You think about whatever you eat on a regular basis, you just say, is there a way that I could grow that so that I can be more self-sufficient and, you know, add that to my operation, my little Garden of Eden that you're going to want to create and take care of. So that's what I have, and it all started with showing you my rain gauge. So Mark from Baker's Green Acres, remember, anyone can farm.